Namaste, everyone, and welcome back to A Unique Path, Unique Story. I am your host, Sunita. We are so happy today that Biplaw, you are joining us for another meaningful conversation. And I'm just excited to share your unique story to our listeners. So, welcome, Biplaw.
Namaste, Sunita. Thank you so much. Honor to be here and yeah, it's great to be here to share my story and just to be in this space with you.
Yeah, thank you so much. So to our listeners, Biplav Dai, and his last name is Rai, which kind of rhymes. So Biplav Rai, he's a Nepali-born culinary entrepreneur, restaurant owner, and CEO whose work is rooted in community, culture, and hospitality. He is the founder of the award-winning Comfort Kitchen, along with Ama at the Atlas and Foxglove Terrace, both located at the Atlas Hotel in Alston. Across his restaurants, Biplav creates deeply intentional dining experiences. At Comfort Kitchen, that vision comes through global comfort food and the stories carried through migration, memory, and community. Ama at the Atlas draws from the word Nepali word ama, meaning mother, and centers care, nourishment, and the people who shape us. Foxglove Terrace builds on that spirit from the rooftop, inviting guests into an atmosphere of crafted cocktails, music, conversation, and playful connection. As a public speaker and hospitality leader, Biplav shares his journey of immigration, advocacy, and entrepreneurship, using food as a platform to educate audiences on culture, cuisine, community building, and equity in the food industry. So again, official welcome, Biplav Dai, and I think
Thank you.
even this intro is short of so many wonderful things that you are and all the things that you're doing. So, with that formal introduction, I still want you to tell our listeners who is Biplab right now in this season of life.
Thank you. Thanks for the introduction. Well, besides all that you have shared, first and foremost, I'm a husband to my beautiful wife, Niako, and father to my son, who's 4 years old. He just turned four last month. And yeah, just a global citizen. And I've been in hospitality work for the last 20 some years. I've actually spent more time in the States than in Nepal now. I moved here when I was 19. I'm 44. So give you a little context in how long I've been here. And so yeah, hospitality and my immigration story is very linked.
Mm.
And that's why you see what you see in all of our restaurants is because of our experiences with our life.
Biplav, I think one of the thing that people notices, and I have had firsthand experience with you,
Hmm.
is just I was telling you, just the humbleness that you show yourself, or your presence is so humble, yet you have achieved so many things, right? And I mean, it's one of those things not a lot of people have, and I just adore that about you. And I think you sort of pass that on to everybody that you touch, like all the staffs that you have. I mean, they just carry this sense of community, sense of humbleness. So with that, could you tell us a little bit about the journey that you have had that has gotten you to where you are today?
Hmm. No, thank you. Humility to me is, is very important at workplace or even life.
Hmm.
Life is so short that, just centering your ego is not going to take you anywhere.
Yeah.
And we've learned in our own businesses that staff with ego or anything that centers themselves, their individual, um, their individual,
Yeah.
their life versus the teamwork or the collective effort really does not last long.
Hmm.
It may shine for a while, a month, two
Yeah.
months, a year, but if you're looking for like longevity or for your company to do well and for really like-minded people to be working together with a collective goal, it
Mhm.
really hampers that process. And, we both come from Nepal, and I think among our people, humility is on the top list.
Yeah.
As I even look around my friends and family, most of the time it works for us, but also sometimes it's like, all right, we don't need to be humble. We got to brag about it. Um, Especially in the United States, you got to sell yourself.
Yes.
And as we were growing in Nepal, that was just the opposite. You did not sell
Sell
yourself. Like
yourself.
we were told not to do that,
Yeah.
because you're like, no, you don't want to do that. That's not the way it works.
Hmm.
And yeah, I think it's just in me to, just it's in my DNA.
Mm. That's wonderful. So as you said, you came here when you were 19, and it's
Hmm.
so funny. I came here when I was 19.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So Dai, how was that transition from coming to Nepal to here when you were 19? Like, can you just give us a brief, outline of what happened ever since? And I know it's long years.
Yeah, I mean, when you're 19, you really don't know what you're getting into. And so I think with that, that is a strength, right? Sometimes if you want to tackle something, it's best not to know it and just go through
Oh,
it. And so that's that was just my mentality. I mean, even coming for my undergraduate studies, and I went straight to school in Missouri, which is so different than Boston. It might as well be a different country.
yeah.
And so besides like cultural indifferences and racism and what have you, I've always pursued, I wouldn't say really my dreams because dreams changes as
Yes.
you grow. Your dream when you're 19 and 25 is different. But I've always persevered in my journey, just, keeping my head down and just focusing on it. Um, and then, politically, the world has changed as well. I mean, when I was 19 and we moved here, we came here right after 9/11.
Hmm.
And one story that I like to share with folks is we were one of the very first people in the world to take our shoes off in the airport
Airport. Yeah.
for security. And that thing just stopped like this year. The travelers don't have to take the shoes off now, but just imagine for like 20 some years,
Mm.
we were in this mindset of like whatever, it was thrown at
Yes.
us. And so the world had changed drastically, obviously, since then. And then even more so after COVID, world had changed.
Hmm.
And yeah, I think when we talk about humility or cultural differences, people have, I don't know, there's a major change in the way our brain is structured after COVID.
Yeah.
And I look into our own industry as the restaurant industry too, the way people are going out to eat or what people think of, you know, hot cuisine or what is the standard has changed a lot
Hmm.
and the perception have changed. So the dining habit has changed, and which means the way we function in restaurant industry and hospitality has changed. But at the end of it all, it always comes back down to basics. And that's what we really need to center ourselves. And for all of our restaurants, especially for our New York concept, AMA, which is based on motherhood and caregiving,
Hmm.
we are really focusing on our guests to walk in the restaurant so they are really cared for that 1.5 to 2 hours or 3 hours if people
Yeah.
plan to stay and have that experience to be very well rounded. Because after COVID, you know, hour 30, the table limit is like
Yeah.
and I get it for restaurant for it to survive, you need that turn.
Mhm.
But we've lost something along the way,
Yeah.
which is just being genuinely hospitable.
Yeah.
And for a lot of Nepalis, we are a hospitable community.
Hmm.
Like we grew up as such. We grew up in so tandem with our neighbors and community. Like it was in our DNA. It
Yeah.
still is in our DNA.
Yeah.
We don't have to be trained to like serve tea or ask people how they're feeling comfortable.
Yeah.
One of the biggest cultural differences that I faced when I was in college was when friends are, just hanging out and somebody opens up a bag of chips. In Nepal, you would actually share it with everyone.
Yes.
And here you would see that person just eat the whole bag by herself. And, so it's that, it's really that is like before you serve yourself, you're actually serving the rest of the people around you. And so we wanted to carry that ethos in all of our restaurant. And it may vary because it's different concepts,
Yeah.
but at Ama, that's the concept is the motherhood and caregiving.
Hmm.
And so again, tying back to like COVID and 9/11 and all that, it's yeah, we've lost a bit of our humanity along the way. Um, and then, things are
Yeah.
changing so rapidly, political climate is so bad. But there's also good things happening. I mean, people are actually really looking inwards and trying to find that community, build bridges. So there's lots of good things happening.
That's the other thing that I have admired about you from the very, very beginning is just the sense of community that you have built. And I would love for you to just talk about the importance of community, not just in the restaurants that you've built, but in everything that you've done. Because every single time I see you, like you have people around you that have bought into your vision, because you just have a way of doing that. So talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, again, going back to just the basics. I mean, as humans, we need community.
Yeah.
There's no individual self.
Hmm.
And more so now than ever, I think people are very much interested in building community and community. The word community in itself, I think we are using more now than
Yes.
20 years back.
Yes.
Like it is just a buzzword,
Hmm.
and there's nothing you can do to buy a community. You need to invest in time,
Time. Yeah.
and that's what it is. Time is what you need for community. You
Yeah.
you have to literally bring your body to places and connect with people if you want to build a community. You cannot just go online and say,
No.
hey, I'm building something and come along, or like, this big vision of like doing something.
Hmm.
It takes a lot of time. And, in my own journey, the way Comfort Kitchen started and Ama started and Fox Lab, these things were planted 15, 20 years ago,
Mm.
whether I knew it or not.
Yeah.
I didn't have Comfort Kitchen as a concept in my brain, but I was building something that led me to Comfort Kitchen, and
Hmm.
then that led to these two new projects. So that led to other projects that I'm part of. That's all there is to it. It's this time you gotta find your tribe,
Yeah.
connect with other people. And in my own personal journey, Cambridge has been home besides Kathmandu. But the way Comfort Kitchen came about was I was working in cafes all around town. And cafes are such important cultural spaces for building community,
Hmm.
more so than restaurant, right? Because in cafes, you are just like, you can come in and out and not make a reservation.
Hmm.
You'll come in a cafe and you'll see people from all different walks of life. Versus like in a restaurant, yeah, like depending on what kind of restaurant, you have a bit of a
Yeah.
similar group of people dining in at the same time. And so I was building community because I longed for it, also because I'm not from this
Here.
community
Yeah.
and I need my own safe spaces. I need people that I could feel comfortable hanging out and doing things together. So that's how, I perceive things. And even now I keep building newer community in different spaces,
Yeah.
you know, and that's important just for humans to survive.
Yeah.
And it's even more important right now than any time in our history.
Yeah. Yeah. And people of that, I think you're again, I think going back to the humbleness, I think you're being very humble. And if I could brag for you,
Hmm.
you just have that in you. I think some people try hard to build community,
Hmm.
but I feel like you just have a way of letting people feel that they belong. So people that talk to us, and I'm talking a little bit about business here, but I know so
Hmm.
Comfort Kitchen was your first project, right?
Hmm.
And it was a smaller project compared to Ama at
Hmm.
the Atlas and Foxglove Terrace. How
Hmm.
did you, right? Like the concept was there, yes, like all of that, but
Hmm.
just visioning and actually taking that risk to go from a smaller to
Hmm.
a. So talk to us about that.
Yeah. So just to add more context to the
Hmm.
listeners, Comfort Kitchen is 40-seater restaurant. In summer, we when we open patio, it becomes 70.
Hmm.
And we have close to, depending on seasonality, 35 to 40 staff, depending on any time of the year. Both Alma and Foxglove are 160-seater in a hotel restaurant, doing 3 meal period with room service. And we have close to, I would say, 70 to 80 staff combined together. So we went from that to this. And there's a couple things to it. For both Nyako and myself, um, it was a personal journey as well, and obviously it's very personal. For me, being in restaurant industry, for the longest time, I have worked in restaurants with no benefits, no health care, no 401k, and just because our restaurant industry is so broken.
Hmm.
And financially, it also does not make sense for smaller businesses to offer that to their staff. And so that's been our biggest, my personal commitment is also trying to look for any other solutions that could help people working in this industry. And this was our opportunity to offer that just because of the size.
Hmm.
And so it was no brainer that all right, we should do it because now we're able to offer that, including ourselves. And the second one is pathway for employees. At Comfort Kitchen, there's a bit of a ceiling where, we have many talented staff with us. If they ever wanted to up the game,
Yeah.
climb the ladder, Comfort Kitchen really had that ceiling.
Hmm.
With Alma and Fox Club, now they have somewhat of a pathway to get to that. And we've had some staff really show up and show out on that, and that feels really great. Um, the other one is being in a hotel. It's a different kind of hospitality
Yeah.
versus just a standalone restaurant.
Hmm.
In hotel, it really is, hotel is another space that hospitality shows up differently because
Yeah.
you are being cared for as you are walking in the building.
Hmm.
It's not like an office building where there's a restaurant. It's not like a standalone restaurant.
Yeah.
And what I mean is, depending on how you get to the neighborhood or the building, you are actually being serviced right at the door.
Hmm.
You have bellmen, you have a host, you have valet,
Yeah.
which is an added layer of service.
Yeah.
And so that felt important as well. So the time you step in the building until the dinner time, dessert, and then you're out, it's a full service
Service.
environment as you walk in the building. And yeah, it's very different than running a small restaurant or neighborhood restaurant. And it has its own challenges as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, these three things really played out as we were deciding on why we should be taking on this like enormous project.
Yeah.
And not to mention the partners in the building, which is the hotel, the management company. They've all been really helpful, even in terms of like investing in, you know, R&D. So that felt really great because for a
Hmm.
small business to take this enormous project, it's, financially
Yeah.
it's very task, you know.
Yeah.
So that felt good as you see, as you pan out all this, you have different partners come in towards the same commitment. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, I know you mentioned, like all of these Comfort Kitchen, Ama at Atlas, Foxglove Terrace, this came about now, but then the dream was planted a long, long time ago. Have you always wanted to wanted to be in the hospitality industry? Like, how's that kind of played
Yeah.
into your life? Yeah.
It, no, I didn't think that I would have a restaurant in, when I was working, or I knew that I would have something on my own and
Hmm.
I would work for myself and not for someone else. I think that's where my energy comes off.
Yes.
Um, Restaurant just happened to be because I was already in hospitality.
Okay.
And, again, talking about like political climate and what have you, when I graduated in 2006, there was a financial crisis. And as an international student, it was so difficult to find a job.
Yeah.
So I ended back going back to my summer job.
Hmm.
And then I went back to my master's program. And then I graduated in 2009, and there was another financial
Another,
crisis.
yeah.
There was like two big ones.
Hmm.
And someone like me that has a very unique name, someone that's not from this country, getting even an interview was extremely difficult.
Wow.
And that really pushed me to think, like I've spent at least more years in working in hospitality than being in college. So I'm going to use my experience to benefit myself in my trajectory versus just going back to, because I have my undergrad in political science and then MBA.
Mm.
And I just wasn't cut for corporate world.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so putting two and two together, my first actual project was opening Dudley Cafe in Nubian Square. That
Hmm.
was my first, you know, stab into operation,
Yeah.
having something of my own. And my partnership ended in 2019, right before pandemic. That's when we were opening Comfort Kitchen.
Comfort Kitchen. Wow. Wow. That's awesome. And what do you think, like, if you had to talk about like the most challenging moment of your not like I wouldn't say entire life because there's, again, right? Like our dreams change, we grow, we become, we're always evolving and growing. But let's say from 2009 till now, like, has there been a point where it's like like the most challenging time for you? And then how did you
Yeah, I
get
mean,
out of it? Yeah.
hmm I think, challenges mostly is humans. There's nothing else. It's just the
Yeah.
relationship,
Yeah.
keeping that relationship to where it needs to. And especially when you have businesses and have leaders within your company, it's very tough. It's you are responsible for people's life,
Mm-hmm.
but also people come to workplaces with their own
Yeah.
traumas and biases.
Yes. Yeah.
And so managing people is tough. Most of our time, like Nyako and myself, we spend a lot, almost 70 to 80% of our time in
Managing
human.
people.
Yes,
Wow.
that's it. Just managing people.
Yeah.
And so that's challenging. Um, we've had pretty rough time, like I would say a year ago when we were going through restructuring, where, start project with friends or people that you know or people you think,
Yeah.
you know, would step up and it doesn't show up that way. And, there's
Yeah.
lots of like heartaches.
Yeah.
Those are like really difficult, challenging time. Um, yeah, that's what I would say. I would say, like managing people is tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's tough. Either you do it or either you have in you
Innate.
to really, you know,
Yeah.
manage that or you don't.
Yeah.
And even when you do, it's difficult because it's humans. There are
Yeah.
emotions involved in it. And yeah, it's very tough. Hmm.
How do you kind of balance that overall? Because you just said, of course, Nyako is wonderful and she's your business partner. So there's a lot of common grounds there. But you also have your mom and dad and your
Yes,
4-year old that needs a
yes,
lot of
yes,
attention from you. So
yes.
how do you sort of manage that?
Yeah, I mean, one, there is no such thing as work life when you have businesses and when you have people that depend on you.
Yeah.
Um, when we go home, we're working.
Yeah.
When we're in the car, we're working. And to your
Mhm.
point, when you're at work, you're thinking of personal lives.
Yeah.
And so you just have to manage, especially, these days when time is so valuable, you just have to
Mhm.
manage your own, like, all right, I may not take vacation in the summer, like a long stretch. I may do, I don't know, three shorter vacations instead of
Yeah.
doing like a long one.
Yeah.
Um, I'm fortunate enough that my parents are here, so there's extra hands
Yeah.
for caregiving for justice. But we've been able to manage, bit like for today, I'll just give you a glimpse of what my normal day looks like.
Yeah.
We start our day in the house around 7, 7:30, drop off justice between 8:30 and 9, and then we are here at Alma in Alston until 2:30.
Mm.
Then we go pick him up, go home. And depending on what nights or what's happening, I'm either at one of these locations
Mhm.
or both of us are here, depending
Yeah.
on events or what have you. And then Saturday, most days like family time, then I go to work in the evening, and then Sunday is a full family day. So
Nice.
that's what's been happening right now. And it's going
Yeah.
to change once, season changes and
Yeah.
in hospitality, because right now it's funny because two of our restaurants are in a slow season because it really Harvard's, because we're right across from Harvard
Yeah.
Business School, their calendar really
Yes.
changes our seasonality.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Comfort Kitchen is busy right now and it
Mm.
gets slow in the winter. So it's just a balancing act of seasonality, which I like
Yeah.
because you don't want it to be
Every
sunny all
yeah.
year,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But yeah, like work-life balance, there's no such thing as that, in my opinion. And again,
Yeah.
in my life, because
Same.
I'm also in a unique space.
Yeah.
But we try to manage it as much as we can, and that's where also community comes in,
Yeah.
right? It could be your family, it could be your friends.
People that when you're not working, what are the other things that excites you in your life?
Right now, I'm more focused on, just the hospitality on what shape is taking,
Mm.
specifically for like Boston, because Boston is changing. Michelin star came in last year, so things are changing. The landscape has changed. I'm also very interested in across the United States or Nepali diaspora because
Yeah.
Nepali food is also now coming to it's getting its moment.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really hasn't really picked up as it should, but it's getting its moment. I believe it'll take 4 or 5 years for us to get to where Filipino food was.
Mm-hmm.
So these things excite me. So I'm always interested in what things are happening and just,
Yeah.
placing myself around it. Locally, I'm just trying to take my time with my son and my family,
Yes.
just to be in the nature, just to be outside the building.
I appreciate you sharing all of that. Um, People of the, as we are getting close to the episode, what advice would you give to somebody, just going through life and not having the best moment, right? What would you say? What would be your advice?
Yeah, life is complex,
Hmm.
very complex, and as you are getting older, actually it gets more complex than it
Yeah,
needs to be.
yeah,
But I always like to get back to the basics.
yeah. Get back to
Like the basics
yeah,
is, because as you try to really navigate a complex situation with a complex solution,
yeah,
it's just going to get more difficult. And, so just trying to get back to basics. I truly believe in simplicity.
yeah,
And, and same thing in the food. Like it does not need to be this, I don't know, 5 layers of things and smoke coming out and all the things. Like
yeah,
basic food actually is the most difficult food to make.
yeah,
Because for it to taste really well, for basic things, you have to
yeah.
work really hard for it to be
Mhm.
where it needs to be. and it really reflects in life too. For if you live a very simple life, it's actually difficult.
Yeah. Yeah.
And depending on what part of the world, out here, I feel like our values are so upside down.
Hmm.
And so we really need to start thinking in a sense what really matters to you and not, for Instagram,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
because social media comes into play. And I think
Yeah.
that's where people are unhappy too,
Yeah.
because there's so many things going on and people really compare their life to, I don't know, celebrities
Yeah.
or, if you're a chef and you're comparing your life to like Gordon Ramsay, that's very unrealistic
Yeah.
thought and
Yeah.
idea of living.
Mm.
And so same thing is just like you do not need to compare your life with a friend who's going through things. And people are always posting good things on Instagram.
That's
The
true.
half of the story is not there.
That's
So
true.
there's a lot of that. And with AI coming in practice, there's a lot of that. So again, like you would have to draw yourself back to like basics and simplicity
Mm.
and humanity and just being nice to
Yeah.
people. Like it's easy to be nice.
Yes.
It's actually you have to work very hard to be a bad person.
I agree. I agree. Oh, I love that. Get back to basics and just,
Yeah.
live in simplicity. I love that. And I think with going with what you've done, just building community, showing up for people and just being nice to them. I love all of those advices, Biplav Dai. Thank you so much for this
No, thank
time.
you.
It's always such a pleasure to be in your company, and I
Oh,
truly
thank you.
appreciate, yeah, you being here
Thank
with
you.
us. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yes, and to everyone listening, if you've loved this episode, please share it, leave us a review, and tag us when you do. And you can find Biplav Dai on Instagram. I'll put all the links on our show notes. And if you are local to Boston, go check out Comfort Kitchen in Dorchester and
Hmm.
Ama at the Atlas for amazing food and Foxglove Terrace for the rooftop experiences right here in Alston. And with
Yes.
that, it's a wrap. Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone. Yeah.
Thank you.